Most men were never taught how to feel, only how to endure. So they carry anger they don't understand, stress they never name, and emotions they silently drown in work, distractions, or silence. The Stoics warned us about this centuries ago. They didn't teach men to suppress emotion, they taught them to command it, because the man who cannot master his inner world will always be ruled by the outer one. If you've ever felt strong on the outside but unsettled within, this is the toolkit you were never given. There was a time when strength was not measured by how loud a man could speak, nor by how hard he could strike the world, but by how calmly he could stand within it. The Stoics understood something that modern life often forgets. Emotions are not enemies to be defeated, but signals to be understood, trained, and guided. Today, many men feel overwhelmed, not because life has become harder, but because they were never taught how to carry the weight of their inner world. The Stoic man is not numb. He is not detached. He is disciplined. He feels deeply, but he does not allow his feelings to rule him. This is his emotional toolkit. The first tool is control of perception. Epictetus reminded us that events themselves do not disturb us. Our judgments about them do. When a setback arrives, the Stoic man pauses before reacting. He asks not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is being asked of me now?" In that pause, power is reclaimed. Anxiety weakens when it realizes it has been questioned. Anger loses its grip when it is observed rather than obeyed. The second tool is emotional responsibility. The Stoics did not blame the world for their suffering. They understood that while we cannot choose every circumstance, we always choose our response. A Stoic man does not outsource his emotional state. He does not demand that others behave differently, so he can feel at peace. He builds peace internally, through practice, awareness, and restraint. This does not mean suppressing emotion. It means refining it. Grief becomes reverence for what mattered. Fear becomes preparation. Frustration becomes fuel for discipline. The Stoic man does not deny his emotions. He trains them, like a craftsman shaping raw material into something strong and useful. Another essential tool is acceptance of impermanence. Marcus Aurelius wrote constantly about death, not to become morbid, but to become awake. When you remember that everything passes, success, failure, youth, pain, you stop clinging. You stop panicking. You stop wasting energy on what cannot be held. Emotional suffering often comes not from loss itself, but from resistance to change. The Stoic man accepts change as law, not punishment. From this acceptance grows emotional steadiness. The modern world rewards extremes, highs that burn fast, lows that collapse inward. Stoicism teaches balance. Not emotional flatness, but emotional stability. The Stoic man does not chase constant pleasure, because he understands that pleasure without purpose leaves him hollow. Instead, he chooses meaning, and meaning sustains him when pleasure fades. One of the most misunderstood tools is silence. Not the silence of avoidance, but the silence of mastery. The Stoics knew that not every thought deserves a voice, and not every emotion deserves an action. The Stoic man speaks less, but when he speaks, his words carry weight. He listens, not to prepare a response, but to understand. In that listening, relationships deepen and conflicts soften. Another tool is daily reflection. At the end of the day, the Stoic man reviews himself honestly, not with shame, but with clarity. Where did I act from impulse? Where did I act from virtue? What emotion led me today, and what lesson did it teach me? This practice turns life into a teacher rather than a judge. Growth becomes inevitable when reflection becomes routine. Then there is voluntary discomfort, a practice modern men desperately need. The Stoics would occasionally choose difficulty on purpose: cold, hunger, solitude. Why? Because comfort weakens emotional resilience. When a man learns that he can endure discomfort by choice, he becomes unshakable when discomfort arrives uninvited. Anxiety loses its threat. Fear loses its authority. The Stoic man also carries the tool of purpose over ego. He does not ask, "How does this make me look?" He asks, "What is the right thing to do?" This alignment with virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance gives his emotions a compass. When emotions are guided by values, they stop pulling a man in 1,000 directions. Perhaps the most powerful tool of all is compassion without weakness. Stoicism is not cold. It is deeply human. The Stoic man understands suffering, his own and others. He does not harden himself against pain. He softens his ego around it. He offers kindness without needing validation, support without control, love without attachment. This is strength refined by empathy. In a world that often tells men to either suppress their emotions or be consumed by them, Stoicism offers a third path: emotional sovereignty. To feel fully without being ruled. To remain calm without becoming distant. To stand firm without becoming rigid. The Stoic man is not perfect. He is practiced. He falls, reflects, adjusts, and rises again. His strength is not loud, but it is lasting. His emotions are not weaknesses, but tools, sharpened by awareness, guided by reason, and anchored in purpose. Ancient wisdom was never meant to stay ancient. It was meant to be lived. And in a modern world starving for grounded, resilient men, the Stoic emotional toolkit is not just relevant, it is essential.